Let's see insightful reflection in action with an example to clarify its power. Picture a student writing about the time they volunteered to teach chess to younger kids at a community center. Here's how they might weave in reflection.
I stood at the front of the room, fumbling with a chessboard, trying to explain pawns to a group of fidgety third graders who'd rather chase each other than listen. My first session was a disaster. Pieces scattered, rules ignored, and I left feeling like a failure. But the next week, I came back with a plan. I turned it into a game, Knights versus Dragons, and watched their eyes light up. It hit me then. Teaching wasn't about control. It was about meeting them where they were. That messy room taught me patience, sure, but more than that, it showed me how adapting to chaos can spark connection. Now, when things don't go as planned, I don't just grit my teeth, I look for the dragons to tame.
This isn't just a story about teaching chess, it's a window into the student's growth. The reflection, realizing that adaptability trumps control and fosters connection, reveals maturity and self-awareness. Admissions officers notice this because it's not a surface-level recounting. It's a thoughtful look into how the experience reshaped their approach to challenges, leaving a lasting impression of depth and character. Let's unpack insightful future goals with an example to show how it ties your story to your aspirations. Imagine a student writing about their summer spent repairing bikes in their garage with their older brother. Here's how they might connect it to their future.
The garage smelled of grease and rubber as I hunched over a rusty bike frame, my brother barking tips over the whir of his wrench. I'd always been the quiet one, content to watch, but that summer I learned to twist bolts in true wheels, small victories amid the clatter. It wasn't just about fixing bikes, it was about building something from scratch with someone who believed I could. That patience and teamwork stuck with me. Now, I see myself in an engineering lab at the University of Cincinnati, designing sustainable transport solutions, not alone, but alongside peers, turning rust into progress. I want to take those garage lessons and pedal them into a future where I can create systems that move communities forward.
This example doesn't just recount a summer activity. It links the experience of collaboration and hands-on problem solving to a clear, ambitious goal: engineering sustainable solutions. The student shows how their past shapes their vision for college and beyond, giving admissions officers a glimpse of their potential contribution. It's memorable because it's specific, forward-looking, and ties a personal moment to a broader impact, showing how they'll carry these lessons into their academic journey. Let's dive into holistic review with an example to show how your essay fits into the bigger picture of your application. Imagine a student whose transcript shows a solid B+ average with strong grades in science but a dip in math during sophomore year, and extracurriculars highlighting their role as a peer tutor in biology. Here's how their essay might tie it all together.
My hand shook as I handed out biology worksheets to a room of freshmen, their eyes wide with that mix of dread and hope I knew too well. Sophomore year, I'd bombed algebra, numbers twisted into knots I couldn't untangle, and I felt like a fraud standing there, teaching. But those tutoring sessions became my lifeline. Explaining cell division, I found my own clarity. Breaking down complex ideas for others rebuilt my confidence. That stumble in math wasn't a failure. It was a detour that led me to discover I learned best by teaching. Now, I want to bring that patience and curiosity to Baylor University, where I can explore biology not just as a student, but as someone who lifts others up along the way.
In this essay, the student addresses the math dip, not as a flaw, but as a pivot point, tying it to their tutoring experience listed elsewhere in their application. The subtext of resilience and their knack for teaching complements their academic profile and extracurriculars, showing a cohesive story. Admissions officers see this through the holistic lens. The essay doesn't contradict their grades or activities, it enriches them, revealing a self-aware student who turns setbacks into strengths. That's the kind of depth that makes an essay stick in their minds.